Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
So that's how the former president started his hate rally in Georgia tonight, by honoring the people who tried to violently overthrow our government. And unfortunately, it didn't get much better from there. Now, as you know, we watch these rallies so that you don't have to, and try to bring you what's most important and what we think you need to know. After all, he is going to be on the ballot in November. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene was interviewed before the speech, where she conveyed how excited she was to pardon everyone who tried to overthrow the government.
Say too, you mentioned January 6th. I want to thank you for being a supporter of those who are in prison and jail, because you've visited them. You let them know that they have help on the outside, because I cannot imagine not just being one of them, but also a family member of them when their hands are tied and they know that their loved ones should not be there. They did nothing wrong, and you have advocated for them. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, they're still being arrested. It's an average of one a day. Something that won't change until we get President Trump back in office. So this is another reason for Georgia to get out and vote for Trump.
Yes. Free the January 6ers. Marjorie, so good.
Then this guy came on before the former president was introduced, and in a truly authoritarian fashion, this guy just started talking about how Trump is a remarkable athlete who beats pro golfers.
President Trump is a great athlete. When he was growing up, he was excelled in sports, and I'm not sure if I should say this, but just a few weeks ago, President Trump put to shame two professional golfers. I ain't going to mention their names, but just know he shot a 70 on 18 holes. And I don't know about y'all, but I would pay good money to see Joe Biden versus Donald Trump on a golf course.
The type of stuff you expect to see in North Korea. He then went on to compliment how fiercely loyal Trump is to his family, conveniently failing to mention how he cheated on his pregnant wife with a porn star that he paid off. Now then, Marjorie Taylor Greene took the stage and talked about how she refused to believe that Trump actually lost in Georgia, where he called the Secretary of State and asked him for 12,000 votes in that quote-unquote perfect phone call that was an attempt to overturn his election loss.
You're not going to tell me that Trump didn't win Georgia. Whew.
She then said the government is being weaponized against Catholics, school parents, and that our elections aren't safe, none of which obviously has any basis in reality.
And now our Department of Justice and FBI has been weaponized against pro-life protesters, parents wanting to hold their school boards accountable, Catholics attending Latin Mass, and election protesters that showed up to the Capitol on January 6th because we said our elections matter and they should be safe and fair.
Now then, David Perdue came on, the infamous insider trading ex-senator from Georgia who lost to John Ossoff, who had this remarkably to say.
Oh, I forgot something, y'all. He did another thing. He built the wall.
No, he didn't build the wall, and he won't allow Congress to secure the border, but don't let facts get in the way. Now, Trump then opened up his speech with true class, making fun of President Biden's stutter.
2 nights ago, we all heard Crooked Joe's angry, dark, hate-filled rant of a State of the Union address. Didn't it bring us together? Remember, he said, I'm going to bring the country together. I'm going to bring it.
He then immediately pivoted to defaming E. Jean Carroll again.
Sometimes it's not good to be rich. I just posted a $91 million bond, $91 million, on a fake story, totally made up story. Think of it, 91 million. I could say things about what it would cost normally. 91 million. Based on false accusations made about me by a woman that I knew nothing about, didn't know, never heard of. I know nothing about her. She wrote a book, she said things. And when I denied it, I said, it's so crazy, it's false. I got sued for defamation. That's where it starts.
We'll be on the lookout for another multi-million defamation lawsuit against the former president after that one. Now, Trump then had a string of gaffes, as he does. First up, not being able to pronounce become.
Crime-ridden nation we have become. a nation like nobody thought possible.
And then not being able to pronounce compliments.
All compliments of an incompetent.
He then said that law enforcement was being weaponized against him, Joe Biden's political appointment.
That's why they're weaponizing law enforcement for high-level election interference against Joe Biden's top and only political appointment, a guy named me. It's a guy named me.
He then said that he got along with President Putin of Russia very well.
Ukraine and Russia wouldn't be fighting. I knew Putin. I know him very well. There was no way he was going in. No.
So Trump then transitioned to say that he protects women despite saying they need to be punished for getting an abortion and appointing the Supreme Court justices who took away their reproductive freedoms.
And then, so what happened is she asked me that horrible question about women. Women love me. You know, I protect women. I protect.
And then he continued by saying suburban women will vote for him because immigrants are breaking into their homes and living there.
The suburban, they always say suburban housewives, they want something that's very important, security. They don't want illegal immigrants coming into our country. They don't want illegal immigrants knocking on their front door and saying, I'm going to use your kitchen and I'm going to use your bedroom, and there's not a damn thing. And that's the nice ones, okay? That's the nice ones.
Now, he then said he's going to stop the quote-unquote invasion of immigrants into the country and seal the border, again, despite being the single reason the border is not closed, obstructing the bipartisan bill to do just that.
To all Americans, I will seal the border. I'm going to do it. And I will stop this invasion. I'm going to do it. I will stop the killing. I will stop the bloodshed. I will end the agony of our people, the plunder of our cities, the sacking of our towns, the violation of our citizens, and the conquest of our country. They're conquering our country. These people are conquering our country. They're horrible people. You know,
He then says that immigrants and the idea they have dreams is a farce and instead said they are monsters.
Because the migrants are hurting people. They talk about the beautiful dream of migrants. It sounds so nice, you know, like in a fairy tale book. But some of these people are monsters, a big percentage of. If you go to...
Really just a disgusting and deranged individual. He then attacked the press, as he does, and said the media are criminals.
So interesting. I watch these criminals back there, the press. Look at them. Look at how many of them. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
And then he said that MSNBC shouldn't be able to say mean things about him.
I'll tell you what. You take a look at MSDNC, how evil they are. They're evil. They're sick. They shouldn't even be allowed to do what they do because it's so corrupt. They shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Now, Trump remarkably then said that 100% of black people should vote for him because he's done more for them than anyone since Abraham Lincoln.
Should be 100% of the black people should vote for Trump because I did more for black people than any president other than Abraham Lincoln. It's true.
Genuinely incredible. Now, he closed out by saying the most dangerous threat to America was not our adversaries, China or Russia, but the Democrats.
You know, we have China, we have Russia, we have Kim Jong-un, we have all sorts of countries out there. But if you have a really capable president, like me, I mean, I will tell you, believe me, you were very safe. You were very safe. But the real problem is not from them. A competent president can handle them. You can say, really, you're going to do that to us? We're going to tariff the hell out of you. We're going to do this. Believe me, I had them all in good shape. They were all, you were never in any trouble. Kim Jong-un of North Korea, tough guy. But we had a great relationship. You know, they hate when they say that. You know why? Because you were very safe. You had a lot of nuclear weapons. And, you know, you have Putin now talking nuclear all the time, don't you? You know why? Because he knows we have an idiot as a president, and he can get away with that. He can get away with that. But the biggest threat we have, it's the threat from within. It's the radical left lunatics that we have in our country. That's a much bigger threat than outside threats, I will tell you right now. We can handle the outside pretty easily if you're smart.
And finally, that America can only be great again with people like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
take this country up. This country has to come back, and it's never going to come back unless we have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Please come up. Come.
Now, Trump also did the usual, denying the election results, saying it was rigged, and complaining about his indictments, which of course he said were politically motivated attempts to persecute him for making perfect phone calls and doing nothing wrong. Not much new there, same stale material, still dangerous, still deranged, and still despicable. Again, we watch these so you don't have to, and bring you what we think is the most significant, given he is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party for President of the United States. So be sure to like, subscribe, set notifications. We've got a ton planned going into the election, and we can't do it without you. With Really American, I'm Justin Horwitz. Thanks.